For nearly 3 months, a fire kept burning in the library of Nalanda University. Yes, you heard that right. Around 9 million priceless books stored in the Nalanda library were destroyed in the massive flames. The fire was allegedly set by a Turkish military commander, and the raging blaze reduced the great Nalanda University to ashes. This was the tragic fate of one of the world's greatest centers of ancient learning. Nalanda University was a place where, nearly 1,600 years ago, revolutionary subjects such as space science, medical science, mathematics, and Ayurveda were taught. Today, people around the world proudly speak about institutions like University of Oxford or Harvard University, but in the present time, very few people remember that India once had a center of knowledge as Mahan and advanced as Nalanda. If this university had still existed today, the entire world would have looked at India in amazement. But driven by the ambition of expanding his empire, Muhammad Bakhtiar Khilji caused one of the greatest losses in India's history. Nalanda University was one of the oldest universities in the world, a legendary center of ancient knowledge and learning. This university was established nearly 1,600 years ago under the reign of Kumaragupta I. In those days, gaining admission to the great Nalanda University required true intelligence and merit. Whether someone was the child of a wealthy king or an ordinary citizen, everyone had to pass a strict entrance examination to enter the university. The scholars stationed at the gates were the ones who conducted the entrance examinations. But the tests were so difficult that out of every 10 candidates, only 1 or 2 could pass. Only those who succeeded were granted admission into Nalanda University. In those times, neither money nor power could secure entry, only true knowledge and merit mattered. Many people from royal families were unable to earn a place at Nalanda University and had to return home in disappointment. But those who succeeded were welcomed with grand celebrations. Drums were played, royal umbrellas were held above their heads, conch shells were blown, and flowers were showered upon them. In a festive atmosphere, the Buddhist scholars of Nalanda warmly received the new students. Today, where once stood this magnificent center of learning, about 95 kilometers away from Patna, near Rajagir, stood the great Nalanda University. In the beginning, it was established mainly to promote and spread Buddhism, but gradually Nalanda transformed into one of the most famous universities in the world. History says that for more than 800 years, Nalanda University continuously produced great scholars and intellectuals. Every academic year, nearly 10,000 students came here from regions such as China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia to study at Nalanda. Students studied here without having to pay a single coin for food or accommodation. In fact, nearly 2,000 teachers and staff members were always there to support the students in every way possible. But why did the Turkish military commander Muhammad Bakhtiar Khilji unleash destruction upon such a great institution of knowledge like Nalanda University? Why did Muhammad Bakhtiar Khilji destroy it so mercilessly? And what was the world's greatest university, Nalanda University, truly like before its destruction? Hello, I am Sujoy Neil. So let us uncover the full story in today's video. The word Nalanda itself means the endless flow of knowledge. Now imagine a university where Aryabhata taught mathematics, and great scholars like Dharmapala, Aryadeva, Shilabhadra, Nagarjuna, and Xuanzang regularly conducted classes. If waves of knowledge would rise anywhere in the world, it would surely be at Nalanda University. That is why, in the ancient world, Nalanda was regarded as the highest center of education and learning. So you can understand that UNESCO did not grant Nalanda University the status of a World Heritage Site without reason. As I mentioned earlier, although this great Buddhist monastery was originally established to spread Buddhism, it gradually became more focused on the spread of education and knowledge. Even 1,600 years ago, Nalanda University taught important subjects such as Hindu philosophy, the Vedas, theology, logic, medical science, grammar, literature, space science, phonetics, and linguistics. History says that before Nalanda was established, the area was mainly a rural village region. But over time, this great center of learning transformed the place into a world-famous hub of education and knowledge. Do you know why Nalanda University was established near Rajagir, despite there being many other places? The reason is that Gautama Buddha once used to teach and advise his disciples while sitting in the Pavarika mango grove near Nalanda. The birthplace of Sariputta, one of Buddha's most beloved disciples, was also in the Rajgir region. On the other hand, Mahavira also spent 14 Chaturmarma seasons in this region. So naturally, in ancient India, this area was considered a truly sacred land. Now you might wonder, providing education, food, and accommodation for nearly 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers would have required an enormous amount of wealth and resources. You will be surprised to know where all that wealth came from. Around 200 villages regularly supplied items such as lemons, walnuts, pistachios, camphor, butter, milk, ghee, and even fragrant, fine-quality rice for the residents of Nalanda University. Along with this, kings and rulers also provided financial support to the university. And there is another fascinating fact that might truly amaze you. Even many features of the modern university system seem advanced today, yet Nalanda had already developed remarkable educational and residential systems centuries ago.
Even today, the 1,600-year-old Nalanda University seems to challenge the modern education system. Do you know how? Students at Nalanda never had to sit for written examinations, and there was no concept of results or report cards as we know them today. So then, how did students move on to higher levels of study? At Nalanda University, debates were held instead of examinations. During these scholarly debate sessions, students and teachers discussed and argued on various subjects. A student who could impress the teachers with strong logic, wisdom, and knowledge earned the right to advance to the next level of learning. This unique system made Nalanda truly extraordinary. The students of Nalanda University studied in this way for nearly 7 to 8 years. Not only that, strict rules were never forcefully imposed upon the students. If any student questioned or opposed an existing rule, the matter was seriously considered, and the rules could even be changed when necessary. This openness and freedom of thought made Nalanda far ahead of its time. The ancient Nalanda University had nearly 100 massive lecture halls. Each of those halls could accommodate around 3,000 students studying together at the same time. And since students here had the opportunity to learn many different subjects, someone studying literature could also be seen attending classes on astronomy and space science. As a result, the entire university was always vibrant and full of intellectual activity. One of the greatest prides of Nalanda University was its magnificent library, known as Dharma Ganja. It was considered the largest library in the world during that era. This enormous library housed nearly 9 million books and ancient manuscripts at the same time. Besides Dharma Ganja, the university also had several other grand multi-storied buildings dedicated to learning and scholarship.
There were also 3 famous multi-storied libraries named Ratnasagara, Ratnadadi, and Ratnaranjaka. So far, we have spoken about the glorious history of Nalanda University. Now let us come to the question of why it had to face destruction. History says that even before the attack of Muhammad Bakhtiyar Khilji, Nalanda had already been attacked twice. In those times, Nalanda was one of the greatest centers of knowledge in the world, and naturally it became a target during periods of invasion and conflict.
Nalanda University was one of the most attractive and renowned places of the ancient world. The first major attack on Nalanda was carried out by Mihirakula. During that invasion, the university suffered massive destruction. However, later, Samudragupta personally took responsibility for rebuilding and restoring Nalanda. It is said that after the reconstruction, the university became even larger and more magnificent than before.
But the greatness and influence of Nalanda University continued to expand. Then, in the 7th century, the university faced a second major attack from the invading Gauda kingdom rulers of Bengal. Nalanda somehow survived that destruction as well, but unfortunately, it could not survive the devastating attack carried out later by Muhammad Bakhtiyar Khilji.
India's advanced system of medicine cured him in no time. It is said that out of anger, jealousy, and the fear of being surpassed, Muhammad Bakhtiyar Khilji later ordered the destruction of Nalanda University. But this land is called India, And from those very ruins and ashes, India's greatest center of learning is rising once again with pride and strength. In 2006, our country's late former president, APJ Abdul Kalam, proposed the revival of Nalanda University. Later in 2010, the Nalanda University bill was passed in the Indian Parliament. Finally, in 2014, after nearly 800 years, classes once again began at this historic university, bringing the spirit of ancient Nalanda back to life. After that, a new campus of Nalanda University was built at a cost of around 1759 crores. This new campus was inaugurated on June